Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Good to be here.
So today, we're going to try and cut through some of the noise around Elon Musk's new AI announcement, TruthGPT.
Right. Lots of buzz around that name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our mission really is just to understand what it is, based on the little information we actually have right now.
And what it might mean potentially for AI in general, for you listening.
Yeah, because it's being positioned sort of as a potential rival to the big players, ChatGPT, OpenAI.
Absolutely. It's definitely interesting whenever a new player enters the field, especially with such a declarative name.
TruthGPT.
Okay.
It definitely makes a statement.
It does. It suggests maybe a different philosophy or that they see a gap in what's currently available.
So what is the core idea then? What signals are we getting about what it's supposed to do?
Well, the name itself gives us a big clue, right?
Yeah.
GPTs suggest a large language model, similar tech. But the truth part, the stated focus is on, seeking and reporting truth. Musk mentioned something about an AI trying to understand the universe.
By being truthful.
Yes, that seems to be the core concept presented so far, maximally truth-seeking, as he put it.
Okay, interesting phrasing. Is the subtext there that maybe current AIs aren't prioritizing truth in quite the same way? Is that what's being hinted at?
It certainly seems like an implicit suggestion, doesn't it?
Yeah.
By naming it TruthGPT and framing it that way, it kind of naturally raises questions about the outputs of existing models, maybe concerns about bias or political correctness influencing results, perhaps.
Which brings us to the really fascinating, maybe tricky part. How would an AI even approach something as huge and slippery as truth?
That's the million-dollar question, really. We don't have the technical details.
Right, it's early days.
Very early. But you could speculate, couldn't you? Maybe a much stronger emphasis on verifying information, or cross-referencing against vast data sets.
Like a more rigorous fact-checking mechanism built in.
Potentially. Maybe a system designed to score information for factual accuracy more aggressively than current models do. Think of it like an AI built to be the ultimate librarian/fact checker.
Okay, so it's more of a conceptual ambition at this point than a detailed spec sheet.
Pretty much, yeah.
But just the ambition itself, an AI built around truth, what kind of impact could that have if it actually works?
Well, if you think bigger picture, it could be significant, couldn't it, for how we find information, how we evaluate it.
Right.
Imagine the use in, say, scientific research or journalism, fields that absolutely depend on accuracy.
That's a powerful idea. But, okay, the immediate follow-up question is, who gets to define truth for this AI?
Exactly. That's the fundamental challenge, isn't it?
It feels like a massive hurdle.
It is. I mean, defining truth is hard enough for humans. How do you program that? How does it handle conflicting sources or nuance or interpretation?
So many questions. What data does it train on? What are the actual criteria for truthfulness?
All unanswered right now. So yes, while the concept is intriguing,
it definitely opens up a huge can of worms about AI ethics, development, even just how we think about truth.
It really does. It feels like this could signal maybe a diversification in AI goals. Different models, different core missions,
Instead of just capability, a focus on principle.
Perhaps. Yeah. Whether this specific approach is technically workable and how they navigate those massive philosophical issues, that remains to be seen.
So for you listening, the key thing here with TruthGPT is that the whole AI conversation is clearly evolving fast. We're moving beyond just what can AI do to asking, well, what should its guiding principles be?
Precisely. And as we potentially get more of these different AI systems, it just becomes even more critical for all of us to think about their underlying assumptions, how they might shape the information we see, the world we perceive.
Okay. Well, that seems like a good place to pause on this initial look at TruthGPT. Thanks for digging into this.
Fascinating stuff to watch, for sure.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought for you to consider, if we do see more AI systems competing, maybe each with its own focus, like truth or perhaps something else, what does that future look like? How does that change the information landscape and maybe even AI itself, something to keep an eye on?